What if I told you there are people who don't hate people in the dangerous or violent sense? They just hate being around them? Not because they're bad, not because they're cold, not because they're antisocial, but because every time they step into a crowded room, a group conversation, or a social gathering, even with people they know, something deep inside them shuts down. Their chest tightens, their energy drains, and their brain whispers, "I can't do this." You've seen these people. Maybe you are one of them. They're not villains. They're not broken. They're not rude. They're something else entirely. Something society rarely talks about. And today, we're diving into the 3 psychological types of people who seem like they hate others, but the truth behind their behavior is far more human, more emotional, and more relatable than you think. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which type you relate to, and why it might not be a flaw at all, but a form of emotional intelligence no one ever taught you to understand. There's a certain kind of person who avoids people not because they're shy, but because they've been hurt by people so deeply that their nervous system now treats closeness as danger. These are the people who learned the hard way that trust is not free. It costs something. And for them, it costs too much. Maybe they were abandoned. Maybe they were cheated on. Maybe they were lied to by someone they thought would never hurt them. Partner, a best friend, a family member. When betrayal happens at the peak of trust, the brain forms a powerful memory. Neuroscience calls this negative imprinting. The brain basically says, "Last time we opened up, we got hurt. Never again." And every new person becomes a potential threat, even if that person has done nothing wrong. So what do betrayed souls do? They isolate. They distance. They build emotional walls with no doors. Not because they want to, but because it feels safer than getting stabbed in the same wound again. Here's the twist. People don't understand them. People think they're cold, distant, uninterested. But the truth is, they feel too much, not too little. They care deeply. They love deeply. They attach deeply, which is why betrayal feels like death to them. And this is also why many betrayed souls love animals more than humans. Because pets don't judge. Pets don't lie. Pets don't leave when things get complicated. Pets don't say, "I love you," and then disappear. For a betrayed soul, animals offer pure connection without emotional risk. And so the cycle continues. They get hurt. They protect themselves. They avoid people. People misunderstand them. They withdraw even more. If you've ever felt like people drain your trust faster than you can rebuild it, you might be this type. But the next type is different. They're not hiding from pain. They're searching for peace. Peace seekers aren't running from betrayal. They're running from noise. Emotional noise, social noise, mental noise. These are the people who get drained simply by being around groups. Not because they dislike people, but because their brain processes every stimulus intensely. Someone laughing loudly, someone complaining, someone dominating the conversation, someone radiating negative energy. Their brain picks up all of it at once. Psychologists call this high sensitivity or social overstimulation. Peace seekers aren't antisocial. They simply have a lower threshold for emotional chaos. But here's the real problem. Society hates people who choose solitude. If a peace seeker says, "I just want to be alone," people respond with, "What's wrong with you? Are you depressed? Are you upset at us? Why don't you join the group? Are you being difficult?" They get misunderstood constantly. The world labels them as weird, cold, or unfriendly, even when they're none of those things. So over time, peace seekers start to resent people not because they hate them, but because people won't let them be themselves. Their solitude looks threatening to others. Their peace looks like rejection. Their boundaries look like attitude. But here's the paradox. Peace seekers are often the most loyal, calm, and emotionally generous people you'll ever meet. The reason they protect their energy is because they give so much of it away when they're close to someone. They feel deeply. They absorb emotions like a sponge. They are the quiet healers in a loud world. If you've ever needed silence just to feel like yourself, if you've ever preferred one deep conversation over 20 surface-level ones, if crowds drain you more than they excite you, you might be this type. But the final type, This one is different. This is the type people fear, misunderstand, and judge the most. This type doesn't just avoid people. They genuinely dislike humanity, not in a violent or harmful way, not in a dangerous way, but in a deeply psychological way. They see the world as unfair, selfish, hypocritical, and exhausting. This mindset forms when someone experiences a pattern of humiliation, disrespect, abandonment, emotional neglect, repeated failure, social rejection, feeling invisible, being used. Over time, resentment becomes their worldview. This isn't simple anger, it's chronic disappointment. Psychology calls this learned cynicism. The brain isn't trying to hurt others, it's trying to protect itself from a world that feels hostile. This type notices flaws in people instantly: fake compliments, hidden agendas, social manipulation, selfish behavior, inconsistency, dishonesty, and because they notice everything, they trust nothing. To them, humans are too dramatic, too selfish, too careless, too unreliable, too loud, too unpredictable. So they shut the world out. They keep conversations short. They avoid friendships. They expect the worst from everyone. They rarely forgive. They rarely forget. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Behind every cynic is a person who once cared too much. Someone who was hopeful. Someone who believed in people. Someone who got crushed by disappointment one too many times. In many cases, cynics are idealists turned numb. Their hatred isn't real hatred. It's emotional burnout. If everything feels frustrating, if people constantly disappoint you, if you feel like humanity itself is broken, you might be this type. Here's something most people never understand. None of these types actually hate people. Not truly. They hate betrayal, emotional noise, inconsistency, disappointment, rejection, broken trust, overstimulation, unrealistic expectations. Their reactions are psychological defenses, not personality flaws. They are trying to survive socially, in a world that doesn't respect emotional boundaries, inner peace, or introverted processing. If you relate to one of these types, you're not broken, you're not weird, and you're definitely not alone. You're human, a human who has been shaped by pain, experience, and survival instincts. Which type are you? Before we end, here are reflective questions for each type. If you're type 1, the betrayed soul, do you push people away even when you want connection? Do you fear getting close more than being alone? Do you trust animals more than humans? If you're type 2, the peace seeker, do you get drained by noise, crowds, or group dynamics? Do people misunderstand your need for space? Do you feel calmer alone than with others? If you're type 3, the cynically wounded, do you expect disappointment before anything else? Do you feel like humanity is exhausting? Do you notice flaws in people instantly? Your answer might reveal a lot about your emotional wiring. The takeaway: this is the part most people miss. We don't withdraw because we hate people. We withdraw because we hate the version of ourselves we're forced to become around certain people. And once you understand that, everything changes. You stop blaming yourself. You stop apologizing for your boundaries. You stop forcing connections that drain you. You stop letting people guilt trip you for protecting your peace. You rise. You grow. You heal. And eventually, you learn that the way you feel is not the problem. Society's expectations are. So now I want to hear from you. Which of the 3 types do you connect with the most? Betrayed soul, peace seeker, or cynically wounded? Your comment might help someone else realize they're not alone. If this made you think differently, hit subscribe. We go deeper every single day. And if you're someone who feels misunderstood or disconnected from people, join our Discord community. You'll be surprised how many people think just like you. This isn't just a video. This is Reverse Hub, a place for minds that don't fit the mold.